chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You hear some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you. From national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now, here's Sabrina.
Well, happy Friday. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night to everyone. Yes, saying that to our friends and family near and far. It is Friday. We made it. I see you there. North Carolina Love is just sending out those happy Friday vibes. What are you up to on this Friday? What are you going to be doing going into the weekend? I hope you're not making too much trouble now, North Carolina Love, because I know you can get in some trouble. Well, welcome to another episode of the Sabrina Speaks, Voices of the Islands, Conversations for the World, the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration takes center stage. I'm your host, Sabrina, and it's good to be here for this Free Flow Friday as we ease on into the weekend. What do you think about the match today? Only one match today. I'll give you a recap in our sports segment coming up later on in the show. But yeah, holding your breath. Are you not? It's one of those things where I swear, if you were borderline hypertensive, you're going to become one by the end. Is doing pretty the same thing. West Indian cricket is doing the same thing, I'm quite sure. And then we're going into baseball and hockey. OMG. Who would have told it? Who would have told me at 52 that I would have been into sports? But FIFA, yes, soccer, football, whatever you call it. You're growing on me. I still have not got a favorite team. No, I'm not a bandwagonist, not at all, for all of you who may think that. I'm just getting into it. And even the family is just blown over that I am so in tune. But I'm not going to be that bold to say, yeah, I'm for this team or that team at this stage. I have just been enjoying the matches like I am sure many of you are doing. And I'm quite sure this weekend is going to be no different. Pretty much, I can see the rest of the week into next week because it ends next week, Sunday. A lot of you are probably going to be taking time off to just take this all in because some of you are just holding your breath and it's like you can't focus until it's all over. So yeah, I'm one of those, but I'm just enjoying the season like so many of you. It is the summer. I'm planning on taking just a week break. Don't worry, it's not going to be long. A week break from here, but I'll let you know when that is going to happen. I won't do it abruptly. You'll get it enough notice. Because life is about balance, but I'll let you know. But it's good to be here with you this Friday evening. And thank you for all of you who continue jump on to the live. Definitely comment as well on whatever social media platforms you're streaming us live on. We're streaming live every Monday to Friday from 5 until 7, where we continue to grow here in this space one episode at a time. Yes, but I'm looking forward to the engaging conversations. Like I said, Fridays are dedicated to you. The mic is yours. It's free flow going. Yeah, we want to hear from you. Maybe there was something that sparked your interest over the week, maybe a headline that caught your attention. Maybe these fees have gotten to you, or maybe the opening of has definitely sparked a renewed interest. I got a few messages from today asking me only for Caymanians. Yeah. So I'll actually call in and steer it to wherever you want to go to just break it down, because spouses of Cayman, permanent residents, that sort of stuff, it has those persons holding those immigration titles right now it has been opened up to you. So it's not just extended for Caymanians only. That exclusivity has been diluted, meaning you can still go as a Caymanian if you can take advantage of when it was only being issued to Caymanians alone. Now it's been extended to other persons who are residents here and permanent residence holders, spouse of Caymanians, civil partners of Caymanians, all of those. It has been extended. It's been expanded. But I'll go more into that later on into the show. But before we get into all of that, please be reminded that the views expressed by callers, guests, and online commenters are those of their own and not those of Bridge Media Limited, its affiliates, the Sabrina Speaks Show, or the host. This program is for general information only and not a substitute for legal, medical, financial, or professional advice. Now, all participants are reminded to speak responsibly and respectfully. Any content that is defamatory, discriminatory, unlawful, or harmful is strictly prohibited and will not be endorsed or tolerated. Continue what you're streaming us on or even listening to us implies. That'd be honor if you feel free to join and call in live and participate in the lively discussions that we have here. That number is 345-936-8255. And you can also privately WhatsApp me there as well, and I will keep you anonymous. I just ask for you to be respectful. And I will share your comments with you. Please make sure to like and follow, share the page with your friends. So 2 reasons, so you never miss an episode and you'll always be notified. So you're not searching for us all the time. And I thank all of my new followers and subscribers. I want you to know that you're appreciated here very much on the Sabrina Speaks show. I see my content creators in bloom are definitely blooming today. It gotta be a Friday. I'll be getting into that segment shortly, but let's take a look at what's happening with the weather. And before giving you the weather forecast, because we got an alert, the Saharan dust alert is out. Let me just give you that caution for public information and let you know what's in store right here, because of 4 p.m. that alert went real. It is real. So let's get straight into that. We go into the news. Local and regional news, give you an update on the market's closings for today, and a highlight on the FIFA football scores that took place earlier today as well. Thank you for sticking and staying with me, and tell your friends. It's Free Flow Friday here on the Sabrina Speaks show. As of 4 p.m. today, a Saharan dust alert is now in effect for the Cayman Islands through Sunday, July 12th. Now, the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability and the Public Health Department are urging residents to take precautions, as the dust can reduce air quality and trigger coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath, especially in young children, older adults, and those with asthma or respiratory conditions. Now, officials are advising that we should be limiting outdoor activities, keeping windows closed, and monitoring systems as conditions continue to be assessed. So we want to make sure that you are aware of this alert. This went live at 4 o'clock today. And we will be going more into sharing some of those precautionary measures that you have to be aware of later on this weekend, as on this episode today of Free Flow Friday. So I just wanted you to know that this went live at 4 p.m. and we're making sure that you take all the necessary precautions as we go into the weekend. My voice has been going and coming, and it's because I keep going outside with the 2 dogs. So now I'm going to have to do what I got to do or wear a mask because, yeah, it's disgusting. Yes, I can imagine, Connie. It's really, but we got to do what we got to do. And we keep showing up. So thank you again. And like I said, we'll go more into that later on in this episode. But let's look at the weather forecast for tonight and into tomorrow. Compliments of our friends there at the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. The synopsis is calling for another tropical wave that is expected to move over the Western Caribbean tonight, which will support some showers early this evening before clearing after midnight as moderate to local thick plume of Saharan dust moves over our region. Now, because of that, a dust alert has been issued, and the influence of low-level jet will continue to maintain fresh and strong winds and rough seas through Saturday. Because of that, again, a small craft advisory has been upgraded to a small craft alert. And radar imageries is showing isolated to scattered showers with embedded thunderstorms in and around the Cayman area that is moving northwest. The forecast for tonight is calling for partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 40% chance of showers with some thunder early this evening, becoming partly clear and hazy after midnight. A dust alert will be in effect for tonight, and temperatures will fall near the low 80s. Winds will be easterly 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts. Seas will be rough with wave heights of 6 to 8 feet. And because of that, a small craft alert will be in effect. Tomorrow's forecast is calling for partly sunny and hazy with a 20% chance of showers. That dust alert will remain in effect, and temperatures will rise near the low to mid 90s with a heat index of 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, winds will be easterly 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts in the morning, decreasing to 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts later. Now, seas will be rough again with wave heights of 6 to 8 feet. And as a result of that, a small craft alert will remain in effect. Now, what this means for all of my boaters when a small craft alert is in effect for the Cayman area, this means small craft should exercise caution over open waters, especially along the southern and eastern coasts. Now, within the reef and sheltered areas, conditions can be generally less severe and less than out in the open waters, but operators should continue to exercise discretion as localized choppy conditions may still develop. So we ask you to make sure you stay in touch with your local media and for those official results, as we will also keep you abreast should anything change here on this platform and CMR platforms as well. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Happy Friday to you all. I see you all coming in. Thank you for commenting as well. Let's see what's making news headlines for this evening right here on the Sabrina Speaks show as we continue to build our audience here going into this lovely weekend. Starting with local news. Guess what? The texting has started again because the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service and the Cayman Islands government are issuing an urgent warning about a text message scam that continues to circulate locally. Victims receive messages claiming a parcel is waiting customs payment with a link to a fake government website that steals your banking information. Now, officials says the scam is still active, using different numbers and domains, and more residents have already lost money. The public is urged to ignore these messages, avoid clicking any links, and contact their bank and the police at 949-4222 if they've engaged with the scam. So this is in addition to the last one that we had. This continues, and we are hoping that nobody gets caught into this scam. This came up live minutes before we went live today, so I thought it was important. You can see it, the timestamp as of 4:30 today. So they've already gotten reports that there are some more persons who have fallen victim to this scam, and we just want to make sure that we get this all out to you and keep you abreast of what's going on. So please don't be caught into this at all. Let's continue more into what news is making local headlines here today, because the Cayman Islands government has released the findings of the Cayman Forward Initiative, a 3-month dialogue process aimed at improving how planning and environmental decisions are made. Now, the review produced 9 key findings and 13 recommendations, all now approved by Cabinet. The plan rejects the long-standing divide between development and environmental protection, proposing a shared decision-making framework, faster routine planning responses, binding timelines, and stronger transparency from the CPA, NCC, and DCB. Now, government says that the reforms will be phased in over the coming months to deliver better outcomes for the country. And more on local news coming out of the Cayman Islands this evening. We see where today the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage officially broke ground on the new Cayman Islands Aquatic Center, a major investment in the future of sports, health, and community development. Now, this purpose-built facility will expand access to swimming and water safety programs, strengthen athletic development, improve accessibility, and create more opportunities for Caymanians of all ages to enjoy aquatic sports and recreation. The ministry extends thanks to the Cayman Islands Aquatic Sports Association, project partners, staff, and everyone who helped bring this milestone to life. Turn our focus over on the DEH. Yes, the Department of Environmental Health has completed its first on-site health, safety, and environment culture survey at the solid waste facility, with 55 employees taking part. Now, the initiative led by the Ministry of Health, Environment, and Sustainability marks a key step in strengthening workplace safety and improving operational resilience. Officials says that the feedback gathered will help shape future training, safety standards, and operational improvements across the department. We also see where the Cayman Islands Government Office in the UK is highlighting the nation's deep maritime heritage, proudly founded upon the seas. At a recent Cayman Constitution Day reception at Speaker's House, officials showcased how generations of Caymanians built boats, sailed the world, and forged a legacy of resilience and exceptional seamanship, a tradition carried forward today by world-class Cayman Island Shipping Registry. UK MP Edward Morello praised Caymankind and the strong cultural identity that binds British history with Cayman's unique Caribbean character. As we wrap up the local segment here on today's Sabrina Speaks, we see just before 11 this morning, police and the emergency crews just before 11 yesterday morning, police and emergency crews responded to a report of a man in distress off the water of South Church Street. Now, the visitor, a 71-year-old cruise passenger from the United States, had been snorkeling while he experienced difficulties and became unconscious. Members of the public performed fresh compressions, and EMS provided further care before transporting him to the hospital, where he was later pronounced deceased. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service has extended condolences to his family and friends. We turn our focus over on what news is making regional headlines here this evening on the Sabrina Speaks show, and we start where health officials in the United States are tracking a growing outbreak of pseudosporiasis, a parasitic illness that causes severe diarrhea and gastrointestinal symptoms. Now, the CDC says cases have now been reported in 31 states, with numbers continuing to rise as investigations move forward. The agency is urging the public to wash produce thoroughly and seek medical care if symptoms persist, as treatment requires specific antibiotics that are not available over the counter. We also see, making regional news this evening, that His Majesty began the day on a musical note as he officially opened the Stephen Schwarzmeiersman Center in Humanities at the University of Oxford. Now, the new center brings together 7 humanities facilities, world-class libraries, exhibition areas, and performance spaces. During the visit, the King met with local community representatives, toured the Beta collection of musical instruments, and viewed the 𝐷𝐄𝐿 Concert Hall, highlighting the role of arts and culture in education. We see where BBC this evening is reporting that a frightening mid-air incident on a Ryanair flight, where a passenger was reportedly nearly sucked out of a cabin window during the journey. Now, details remain limited, but witnesses says that the aircraft experienced a sudden cabin issue that caused a dangerous rush of air. The passenger was pulled back to safety, and the flight later landed without further injuries. Aviation authorities are investigating what led to the incident. In our closing market report today, we see where U.S. markets close higher today as investors wrap up the week with steady gains across major indices. The Dow and S&P 500 and NASDAQ all ended in positive territory, supported by strong performances in tech and AI-linked stock. Now, analysts says that sentiments remain upbeat and companies continue to report solid earnings and chip makers led momentum. Now, despite some mixed economic signals, markets held firm heading into the weekend. Now, let's take a look at what's happening in our sports world for all of my people out there who's just going crazy over football. Are you into the football craze? I am. I'm getting there. But guess what? Spain are through to the semifinals after a tight 2-1 win over Belgium, sealed by a late strike from 𝐒𝐿. Now, France also advanced, defeating Morocco 2-0. This weekend, attention turns to the remaining quarterfinals, where we will see Norway versus England in Miami and Argentina versus Switzerland in Kansas City. Now, two decisive matches that will determine the final spots in the last four. With France already waiting, the big question now is who will keep the World Cup dream alive and move one step closer to lifting that trophy. I know all of you, the excitement must be building, isn't it? How many of you are putting bets, whether you're doing it as a friendly thing, because we know the laws here in the Cayman Islands, but yep. Be responsible, Sabrina. Behave yourself. How many of you are stressing out because you already lost, or you're like, oh my God, I didn't see that one coming? It's going to be an interesting weekend for sure, and I am all in for it. Yeah, but I will be losing no money. Not at all. Won't be me. Let's say happy birthday greetings going out to everybody who celebrated a birthday today. 345-936-8255. The phone lines are wide open. It's yours. It's Free Flow Friday here on the Sabrina Speaks live podcast. Yes, the phone lines are open. It's your time. We want to hear from you as we send birthday shout-outs. Happy anniversary to those who are maybe celebrating even wedding anniversaries today. Or maybe you're just celebrating life. You're celebrating the win because your team is going through. Yeah, we celebrate along with you and wishing you many, many more. If it's birthday, if it's anniversaries, definitely celebration of life. But we cannot forget those who are amongst us that are the opposite end, who are mourning the loss of a loved one. We just want you to know that our thoughts and prayers are with you as you navigate this time. And we definitely are sending all of our love to you as you navigate this time. Yes, yes, yes. So there we have it. Like I said, North Carolina is in the house today. Happy Friday, Marshall. Always good to have you on board. Happy Friday to you too, Buenas. That's Connie Bonnie. That was an awesome match. Yeah, holding your breath and like 1 minute I was like, no, this is not another game going to penalty kickoffs. And then out of nowhere, there you got it. Connie is saying Argentina, France, finals. Let's see. OMG, that's what you're calling? Oh, Donnie's in the house. Donnie is in the house. Happy Friday to you as well, my love. Oh, I'll just show you the beautiful pictures from Connie here, who is predicting who will be in the final game. There you go, Don. Connie Bonnie is sharing that beautiful, what a beautiful, beautiful flowers today. That's her orchid of the day. It's 10 flower buds is what she's showing us. Beautiful. There's lots of love in the air there from you, Connie Bonnie. Who is also fighting the dust like myself. Oh, you can hear it. You can hear it. And it's just weird. Ugh, I don't like the feeling. But Dawn is also here with us. Green Valley Nursery. They're open tomorrow from 7 o'clock until 4. Yes, but they're closed on Sunday. So if you're just hearing about Green Valley Nursery, where you're seeing some of these beautiful images or content creators in bloom, look at that one. That's gorgeous. That's a lily, right? OMG, look at that. Beautiful. Well, these and many, many more beautiful ornamentals and stuff. You can check out Green Valley Nursery there in Lower Valley tomorrow from 7 until 4. And Dawn will definitely help you spruce up your garden, or you need that special space of zen, whatever. She'll be more than happy to help you. So like I said, Monday to Friday, 7 until 4, close on Sundays. And yeah, Donnie would be more than happy to help you. But there we go. That's my green thumb content creators in bloom showing off their beauties for today as we ease on into what will be lining up, or seems to be lining up, as a heck of a weekend when it comes to football, when it comes to just vegging out, just hanging with some friends, lighting up the grill, whatever, however you choose to do it. I hope that you all will have a blast doing it for sure. And I'm excited. Yep. Looking forward to next week. That's for sure. Yep. So there we go. Hi, Sabrina. Someone wants to know if you're married. Tell him yes, yes, yes. There you go. You did it for me. Oh, my goodness. That way, you know your business, eh? Yeah, that was this one. Where it is. I was going to come back to it, you know. Yep. See, my student said yes, 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 yes. There you go. Donnie is saying beautiful, beautiful, Connie, for that 10 bloom that you have. And yes, I see you guys just doing all of your back and forth there. Just what I love with the space. And then I have to catch up and see exactly what the heck I was saying so that I'm joining a part of the conversation. Donnie is sharing her orchids. Yeah. Oh, orchid. That, what the hell did I say? Look, I need a class in ornamentals or something, but they have to be frog free. The airline is Ryanair. Ryanair. Thank you for telling me that. Thank you. I was just trying to get through this. That's what did I say? Ryanair? Yeah, Ryanair. There we go. Thank you, Wake Up. Thank you so much, my love. Yes. Appreciate that correction. Love y'all for following. At least I know y'all are paying attention, but that was a scary thing for that poor passenger. Thank God it ended the way it ended and nobody really got serious injury, and the plane landed fine. But yeah, we try to keep you abreast of everything that's going on here, making sure that you are totally up to date. And that's why I try to cover local, regional, and international. But we got to know what's happening around the world, because at the end of the day, we're all connected. Like I said, it's Free Throw Friday here on the Sabrina Speaks, 345-936-8255 as we ease on into the weekend. I want to hear from you. There may be something. Where is Alfred this evening? He didn't share his orchids with us. He's always up to something, you know, or maybe he's content creating for his Love and Lies, or Lies and Love, whatever that one is. His podcast that is at 10 o'clock this evening, live right here on the CMR platform. So yeah, it's going to be interesting topic for tonight from our Alfred, who's a host of that right here, and he's a part of the CMR family. So Connie, you know, he's probably up to some badness now, you know. Oh yes, but when he strikes, God be with us. And where is Harry? Harry has been MIA as well for a couple days. I got to do this roll call thing, you know. I know Jimbo is on a project. He's actually doing something, but I know and I feel he's fine. I'll give you an update on him. Miss Shelma is also still there with her husband, navigating life. Just keep her, just keeping Miss Shelma in her thoughts and prayers, as we go along here, for sure. But I did get a few messages in regards to explaining the whole My EID. Yeah, that is the National Digital Identification Card. And yes, the headlines is true. For those of you who are saying, what's up? I thought this is only for Caymanians. No, it's not anymore. The government has extended it now to non-Caymanians can now apply, starting with permanent residents and their eligible dependents. So this is a major shift in how Cayman manages identity, access digital government services. So I'm realizing the questions that I'm getting. I think for those persons who are permanent resident holders and just residents and their dependents, they didn't really pay it no mind because the first rollout of who could actually register to get these IDs was exclusively for Caymanians. And now that it has been expanded, it is now opened up. There we go. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Good evening. You're live on Sabrina Speaks. Hello. Hello, you're live. Oh, okay. Mm. And they're leaving when, on Sunday? Mm-hmm. Okay. Just keep. Mm. Just take it one day at a time, one step at a time. The good thing is he's in a healthcare facility. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, even though you don't hear it all the time, I know that I usually give updates as quickly as I can, but I respect your privacy and what you're going through. But we always remember you, Miss Shelma. I don't want you to ever think, and we know that you log in, you tunes in. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's understandable. That's understandable. Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Just take it easy, Michelle. And we got you. We're going to keep you in our thoughts and prayers. All righty. Take care. One day at a time, my dear. Oh, that's a long time. Okay. Mm. All right. Well, I'm sure I'll just give a gentle reminder to Dawn, and I've heard where she's staying, so Dawn can either reach out to you or for whatever, or she can just arrange to meet her there. Okay. Thank you. Take care. There you go, Donnie. You're hearing that one of your good friends hadn't been here for 40 odd years. She's would love to meet up with you. She's leaving on Sunday. And later on, I can share that number with you through Miss Shalma. You can reach out to Shalma if you want to hook up with her. I think that, oof, what a reunion that will be after 40 odd years. But yes, that's how we roll here on the Sabrina Speaks family, just keeping it all together. Miss Shalma is going through a lot. And we're all one family here. And that's what's unique about an island this small. Everybody knows everybody. Mr. Billeray, her husband, is a well-known fire officer who has worked for years and retired as a fire officer in the Cayman Islands, longtime civil servant, and he has been battling his own personal issues. Miss Shalma has stayed by his side, is staying by his side through thick and thin. Their two children, just a crew, and she has been shouldering a lot, but we just want her to know she has been very open, very expressive. And we're happy that we're able to provide this space here for persons like her in our community, where sometimes this is the only little outlet as public as it can be. And that's what I love about the Free Flowing Fridays and just how we are here, that it brings that comfort, some form of an outlet for so many people. And because we're such a small island, that at some way, somehow, everybody knows everybody. And we just want Michelle to know that her thoughts and prayers are with her for sure as she navigates this time. And, just take it one day at a time, Michelle, just one day at a time. For those of you just joining us, it is Free Flow Friday. The number to call in, be a part of the discussion is 345-936-8255. Oh, birthday shout outs to her family member as well. From all of us here on the Sabrina Speaks family, and wishing you many, many more. Connie is cracking up with something that I said earlier, and she's saying, cheers to Jimbo. Jimbo, wherever you are, we're missing you, like cook food, Jim. But let's go back into this digital, this My EID. I want to just break it down for you but of course, anytime during this, you can call in. We will be more than happy to switch gears because the mic is yours today. Any topic that you want to get, you want to vent, you want to just get off, you want to share a joke, you want to do your predictions for the World Cup, whatever it is, today is your day. Today is your day. If it's something that you need explaining, by all means, we're in for it. That's what it's all about. Pretty much all of our show. I've changed gears to accommodate you, because if there's something that you want, we do that here on this platform. And that's what I love when you comment, when you call in, that we just respect you and whatever's pressing or is bothering you. 345-936-8255 is the number to call, or you can send us a WhatsApp there as well. But until such time, let's go with just sharing the updated information, because a lot of you are just probably hearing that it's not this My EID is not just only for Caymanians right now. It has been expanded. It has been open. They have extended it to residents, permanent residents, spouse of Caymanians, civil partners of Caymanians, and their, their dependents. And for those of you who want to know really what it is that this is a new secure digital identification card. Think of it as modern government verification ID, but with digital features. If you look at the specimen that we have here, and here's another image, there's a chip, there's a code, a QR code link that you can, to my EID information. You can see all of this. This is how the actual card looks. And the front of it pretty much looks like how that young lady is. And this can give you all of the information, gives you all that. You can just scan that. You can register and book an appointment to go and get yours. But for clear explanation and making sure you understand, if you haven't gotten yours yet, it's built under this Identification Register Act of 2025. So there is legislation in the Cayman Islands that has been passed that allows our government to roll this out, which sets out the rules for who can enroll and how identity is verified by means of this. And because the Cayman Islands, like everywhere else in so many other countries, small island development states, we see Barbados, we see Trinidad, we see Jamaica for sure, and other EU countries as well, that they're trying to do it, but just bringing it back to home. Because Cayman is moving forward or towards a future where identity verification is fast, secure, and centralized. That's where we're headed, right? No more repeating the same documents or walking with these binders of documents across one agency to the next. No more long lines is what they're saying is envisioned for heading in this new directions, for just basic verification of who you are, proven that you are a permanent resident, proven that you are a Caymanian, and just proven who you are, like what it says. So no more uncertainty during emergencies. And this is the foundation of Cayman's digital government, is what this is doing. So as of the latest rollout phase that we've said here, this is now being rolled out to permanent residents with or without the right to work. You hear me? So Caymanians now can still go ahead and enroll, but you will not be the only ones there from the 1st of July. This has now been expanded, giving the opportunity for permanent residents with or without the right to work can now enroll, along with their eligible dependents of Caymanians and PR holders. Also, as we saw, civil servants as well, and Caymanians continue. So remember, before it was just Caymanians and big civil servants. Now it's been extended to permanent residents with or without the right to work, and their eligible dependents can now enroll for this. Now, this is the first time non-Caymanians can formally enroll, not just register interest, right? But book an appointment and complete the process, meaning they will leave with their ID in their hand, right? So permanent residents, if you hold permanent residence, whether you have the right to work or not, as of the 1st of July, you can now go and enroll. Eligible dependents, this includes spouses, civil partners, and qualifying dependents of Caymanians and permanent residence holders. Work permit holders, hold up, not yet. Okay? Work permit holders, not yet. That phase will be coming later. This expansion, as of the 1st of July, is part of this whole government phased rollout design to eventually include all residents. So if you're just a work permit holder at this time, This phase does not include you. This is just for permanent residents, their eligible dependents, spouses and dependents of Caymanians, and dependents of PR holders, not work permit holders, okay? But before we move on, I just want to take a moment right here, and I'm deliberately keeping this up here because of the QR code, in case you guys want to scan that QR code and jump on because you're hearing it here. I just would like to pause because I'm hearing more and more where people starting to forming opinions, emotions, and at the end of the day, I have to respect both sides of the spectrum here. And right here in our very own, we are seeing the very obvious divide. We have two very real perspectives on the My EID. You have the first perspective where some people welcome My EID. Guilty as charged. I already got mine. I see it, and like so many others who are seeing it from this perspective, we see it as convenience, modernization, faster service, less paperwork, and more security. And for the people that are seeing it as I am going for this is Cayman stepping confidently in the future. And then you have the other side, the other perspective, where respectfully, some people feel uneasy. They've seen digital identification system in other countries used in ways that feels controlling, or even some people may actually say darn right invasive. And what we're seeing is that these persons, they worry about privacy, surveillance, and government overreach. Even if those fares don't even match Cayman's laws, the feelings are still real. And we got to respect that. Both perspectives in this case deserves respect. So I'm hoping that as we continue to roll this out and more information gets out there, more and more people subscribe to it and see exactly what it's trying to do, that we ground ourselves more in what's actually true here in the Cayman Islands. And the My EID is an identity verification tool, not a tracking tool. It doesn't monitor your location, movements, purchases, or even your behavior. It doesn't replace your immigration status, and it doesn't give the government new powers. And in accordance with the Identification Register Act of 2025, under that act, it actually limits what can be collected and how it can be used. No GPS, no live tracking, no behavioral scoring, no social credit system, no enforcement connections either is there in accordance to the legislation that we have in place, which is why it's so important when you see certain amendments are being made to key legislations here that you pay attention. Because under this current act of 2025, the process, like any other amendment, would have to come out into the public's domain, gazetted, yada, yada, yada. There's a consultation period that you will see if anything is being changed. And of course, regulations, just like immigration, like regulations, go along with it. So this is why it's important for you to always be locked in, stay in tune, and really listen to any amendments if you're feeling like, okay, you sold us this in a 2025 piece of law. Why are you amending it now? Give me more explanation. What are you going to be taking away my freedoms for this, for that, whatever? That's why you always got to keep locked in. But even with those facts, and we see all of this information in accordance to what law is in effect right now, people are allowed to ask questions. That is your right. People are allowed to feel curious and cautious, and you're allowed to demand clarity. Just make it make sense, right? And that's healthy. That's what I love about it. So at the end of the day, good governance includes transparency. If you don't want to buy into it, take the time to read and understand. We do our best here to try and break it down as best as we can. you still have a right. It is not a mandatory subscription. It's not mandatory that you get this. It is just open and extended now to permanent residents. So whether you're excited about the My EID or you still unsure, I'm hoping that with us sharing exactly what it is, that, you know, you will see the best of, you will see both sides without the noise, without casting any judgment on anybody. That's not what we're about here. I just want to break it down to you based on what information that is in the public's domain. I'm just bringing it here and breaking it down in layman's terms, hoping that you will understand it a little bit better. Sometimes it's worth repeating instead of you just going, picking up these flyers, reading it for yourself. We can talk about it. We can hash it out here. I show diagrams like this and explain it to you. It just comes across much easier. So now that we've acknowledged, you know, how both sides can be respected and how they feel, let's just look a little bit deeper into exactly what this card, and why it came about, right? Because people still not understanding why they need it. And what was put into the public's domain about why it was needed is, let me get this. Keisha, good evening. Pleasant good evening. If anyone see or heard of a lost wallet, please can you contact me in my inbox. Otis, where did you lose it, Keisha? Just give us some more context, please. Tell us in the vicinity where you lost this wallet, and if your ID and that sort of stuff is in there, what color it is, but around what time as well. That would be helpful. So please pin that down into the comment box, or you can send me a WhatsApp, 936-8255, so that I can repeat that at the end, because we do have people joining and commenting up until 7. So just share some more details. That's 936-8255. You can privately WhatsApp me on that number, and I'll make sure to repeat that for you. Hey, Miss Anderson, happy Friday to you. It's online, my love. Where do you go to register? It's an online registration. There's the QR code. If you can scan that QR code, my dear, that will give you on. You just go on to the government My EID, and I'll share those contact details. And I'll also put the link up as well for you on the myeid.gov.ky and to sign up. So, or there's the QR code, Karnath. There it is. Good evening, Annie. Happy Friday to you, my sweet. It's good to have you join us here today. So you know what? For ease, I will just leave this up here so you guys can scan the QR code. That may be easier for those who may want to actually go up and sign and just take advantage of this. And Karnath, get your husband to get his done. Get all the kids who are here, if they're home for summer, make sure you get them all sign up. They're going away. You know, it's good. So just sign up everybody. Karnath. Thank God I know your business, but everybody can do it. So there you have. And then once you sign up, they will send you instructions and give your time and that sort of stuff. So it's good. All right. It's easy, very easy. I've done mine, and I must say kudos to the team down there about getting my EID. But yeah, the government's goal when they rolled this out, and I'm just explaining to you why they rolled it out in the first place and what is already in the public's domain. This is not my opinion. This is what's in the public's domain behind the reason for going in this direction. And the government's goal in doing this was to modernize identity verification across the islands. And this rollout of the My EID is for digital government services, faster immigration processing, securing access during emergencies. It will aid in reduced paperwork and duplication, better protection against identity fraud, streamlined banking and financial verification. And can you imagine renewing your PR or opening a bank account or verifying your identity for employment, all with one secure digital ID? Think about that. This is part of the Cayman's long-term digital transformation strategy, and expanding access is now given to non-Caymanians is a necessary step towards this universal identity system. So it's now been expanded. That's the reason behind it. You know, this thing about as of September 1st, with the new fees, one set of fees for Caymanians, one set of fees for non-Caymanians when it comes to the DVL and the driver's license. What we're understanding is that you are now eligible, all of those residents, these are the fees for the Caymanians versus non-Caymanians. And one of the ease in doing business is that with this EID, with all of that, securing your true immigration status, meaning your nationality. What are you in the Cayman Islands? Are you Caymanian, status holder, permanent resident, spouse of a PR, civil partner of a Caymanian spouse, whatever. All of that will be on that versus you going to the DVDL or having to upload all of those papers when you're going to renew, license your vehicle and all this sort of stuff for you to get and take advantage of these fees. If you have this EID that clearly states what your nationality is, that's the difference between taking and looking for certificates, going down there with a whole bunch of papers, or uploading a whole heap of certificates and papers to prove that you qualify to get the Caymanian rate versus the non-Caymanian rate. All of that could be on this one My EID chip. Yeah. So these new fees, as we went into yesterday, come in effect as of the 1st of September. And what is being envisioned is that you get this bad boy and you don't have a lot of work to do to prove that you are eligible for these fees under the Caymanian section. Yeah, that's just one example. The other example that I gave about renewing PR, opening a bank account, verifying your identity for employment, because you know our young people now, HR departments are on to this acknowledgement, right to be Caymanian. If you get all of that sorted out, you don't have to call mom, can they're asking me for this. What is that? I was born here. Hold on. You got your EID? Yes. That's all you need to give them. It's there. That's the acknowledgement that we did before they got the EID. Remember the little letter that we had to apply for you to get your scholarship? Mm-hmm. Yes. Now you don't need that letter. See, you went and you got your EID. But if you don't get your EID, mom has to go through all of those things, look for that letter, look for these certificates in some cases, status certificate, mom and dad's marriage certificate to prove that they were Caymanian, and all depends on when they were born. You're going to be walking with the stack of papers to prove that, hey, even though I don't have my acknowledgement, this is my ties to Caymanian, that I'm Caymanian. And guess what HR managers are doing? Well, darling, if you got all of those paperwork together, you need to go to WORC and get acknowledged. Yeah, it's free. And then you got to be holed up and you got to do all of that. So guess what? To me, at the end of the day, I'm not here to sell you one way or the other. I am respectful. People have a choice. But if you ask about ease of doing business, as I've alluded to, that is what the government envisaged with putting this all in a digital format. Now, mind you, government has all this information already, but it's here, there, everywhere. And I know you have persons, respectfully, will saying it's control. If they have it already, why do you need it again? That's another show. That's another show. But we have explained that on here. We have explained it on here, and we have seen both sides of this coin. But the good thing is, it's not mandatory. People can opt in and people can do without it. They can opt in, meaning that they support it, they want to go for it. And you have others that say, I don't need it, I am not going to get it. Well, for those of you who wish to apply, what you do is first, and I'm going to put this up here, you book your appointment by visiting the my eid.egov.ky. I just misspoke there. So I won't have to say the wrong thing. There we go. So that's the link. You book your appointment by visiting that. So there's the link. Visit the myeid.eGov.ky, and you then choose your enrollment time. And then what they're asking you to do is bring your documents, like a PR certificate, your passport, and if there's, if you have a dependent documentation, let's say it's a minor, then anything with dependents, you may want to do a minor and let them, at the same time, let's say you want to book multiple people, you still have to bring these things with you. And then there's step 3 for this. You attend your session based on what you choose. They'll verify your identity. They will take the picture. So you don't have to walk with a passport size picture of anything like that. No, they will take your photo and confirm all of your details that you give them, right? Then what will happen in step 4 is that you'll receive your card. You'll also get access to your My Info portal. That's a portal where all of your information is at, where your verified identity is housed online. Okay. Now, what I've been told is that these cards are valid for 5 years, and you have an option to put on these cards your physical address, or if you don't want to put a physical address, you do not have to, because we all know how it is with your driver's license. You could move addresses 2 or 3 times by the time it's about to expire. You would not be showing the correct address on your ID, right? So you have an option to put on that where you live or not. That's totally your choice. But there are a few tips, because make sure that your immigration status is current at the end, once you're going for this, because they are speaking to other government agencies to make sure that everything aligns. And ensure, to avoid any delays or slowdown, ensure that your documents match exactly. So you don't want you having a passport with your name or a date of birth that is different. Everything must align. Quite similar to when you're applying for a UK passport, or you're doing a naturalization, or you're doing a Cayman passport, the names must align. So ensure your documents match exactly as it pertains to names, dates, and the spelling. And please, to avoid inconveniencing the next appointment that may be after you, arrive early, because the appointments are pretty close, only because they know how long each session should take if everyone follows the instructions, okay? So it's really 4 easy steps. Book your appointment. I've posted the email up there. Bring your documents along with you, making sure that there are no photocopies, that they are original documents. And those documents are like your PR certificate, your passport, and dependent documentation. In the event that your dependents are accompanying you, make sure that you bring their stuff with them. Now, let's say you're a Caymanian, born. All you have to do is take your Cayman passport showing that you were born here. Some people actually have a change of name. Then you want to take any deed poll or anything that may have shown or demonstrate how you got the change of name. Maybe you have a change of name, but have not changed your passport. Then you want to take your original marriage certificate to prove where that name is derived. So each case is different, but you can make it easy for yourself. I've seen some people just walk with everything. And guess what? Based on the information that they put in online, sometimes from when you're booking your appointment, they're not even asking for it because everything checks out. Well, that makes life easy, but always be prepared is what we're saying. And then you attend your session, and they will verify your identity. Now they're going to want to see your ears. So make sure that your hairstyle, at least they can see the top of your ears, quite similar to the specs for the UK passport. Make sure that you're aware of all of that. Oh, Aliano, you something else. And then, of course, you'll receive your EID. So don't go rushing off, getting passport pictures or saying, I love this picture. I had the best, they got my better side here. No, your picture is going to be taken in real time. So yeah, But there are some myths and questions around this for sure. What is Aliano getting himself into? Hello, my dear Springers. Oh, Jesus. Hello, Cayman. Hello, Miss Sabrina. And no, me not Jerry Springer Beach. Oh, thank you for declaring you're not at Jerry Springer Beach today. I soon switch it up. Getting too predictable. Yes, you brute. Yeah. That you let me know about your business. See? Can I get Sir Hennessy on my if that is on any other government issued ID, they can give you anything. If you have a deed poll to show that, Aliano, I'm quite sure they will actually accommodate. But if no, then you would have to do that deed poll to get Sir Hennessy on your EID. You are something else. Make sure you go get yours. You're too bad. You're too bad. Make sure you sort yourself out and go get that. It's easy. Easy. So yeah, for those of you who are actually just, there have been some questions around it, some myths and all that sort of stuff. I'm hoping that respectfully, no one is saying, look, you got to do this, or you're not going to be able to go do your banking. You're not going to be able to pay your light bill. You're not going to be able to pay your water bill. You're not going to be able to go to Foster's on certain days of the week unless you got your EID. I have heard all of that. No one has a crystal ball to predict that that's where we're going to head in the future based on conspiracy theories. But right now, in accordance to what law that governs this here in the Cayman Islands, that is not in the law. We have to deal with what's in the law, and I'm only here to break it down with you for what is in the law. I can't speculate of where we're going to go. I can't talk about what's going to happen in 2030 or 2027, 28, 2050. I can't. I'm just dealing with what law is in effect that governs the Cayman Islands nationally in accordance to the 2025 piece of legislation that allows our government to roll this out for the reasons that is outlined in accordance to what legislation is in that law of 2025. But there are some common questions that are being asked just up to today, which is why I said I would cover it on this segment. If we, of course, saw this where we didn't get any calls. And yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And one of the main questions I got today, do I need to be a Caymanian? At this time, as of the 1st of July, no. And that's a complete sentence. No, you do not need to be Caymanian to enroll, to walk out with a card. PR holders and eligible dependents can now enroll and be issued this My EID. And another question that was coming up, does this replace my PR card or PR certificate, permanent resident certificate? The answer to that, a complete sentence, is no. No, this does not replace your permanent residence certificate. The My EID is an identity card, not an immigration status card. Be it Caymanian status, right to be Caymanian, acknowledgement, RERC, naturalization, British registration. No. The answer is no. It doesn't replace any of those. It is for the purpose of identity. Another question that keeps coming up, will this be required for future services? The answer is yes. Eventually, My EID will be standard for accessing digital government services. So the answer is yes, this will be required for future services, and that's accessing for government digital services. Another question, can work permit holders apply? I said to that earlier, not yet. This phase right now is specifically for PR holders and dependents. And when I say PR holders, yes, this is spouse of Caymanians who are holders of RERC. not just PR holders of 8 years, independent means, substantial business presence, all of those people. PR holders, they just lumped the PR into one big category. We know that you have different segments of PR, permanent residents, and their dependents. This includes all of those residents can now apply for this and their dependents. Another big one, the question that keeps coming up, is this my EID connected to enforcement? And the answer to that is no. This ID is not an immigration enforcement tool. It's not an immigration enforcement tool. No, it's not. It goes right back to exactly what it is. It is an identity card. That's what it is. All right. So I'm hoping that I was able to beat that up and break that down as much as I can so that it all makes sense to you. And it's what we do here is just moving forward. And this is the back of it. And you can see on that flyer that I had there, that's how the front of it would look, with your name, date of birth, that sort of stuff on it, and your ID that will be taken, your photo that will be taken whilst you're there. And then this is the back, and it clearly shows you exactly what it is on the back with that chip. They give you even a portable card reader, I think, while supplies last. I thought I had mine up here. There's a card reader that if you're doing from your laptop and stuff, you can stick it in. If you're online, you can do, they give you all of those things so that you can have a card reader and read your chip and you can do this. It's cool. They actually send you away with a lot of good little gadgets and stuff. Yeah, so I must say that the government has really thought of all the things here so that when you leave there, you leave with a flyer as well that is also available digitally that tells you what the features are, points out the different things of the card and all of that. So yeah, there you have it. So as you can see here with this segment of the Sabrina Speaks, oops, get that out of the way. We are hoping that, we are moving forward, and we're hoping that you get and you understand that, that this My EID is one of the biggest steps of Cayman, as I said here, moving forward into just digital transformation. And we don't want anything saying about, oh my God, well, these people are here and I didn't understand it. Come on, guys, come on. If you now decide that you're going to go and you're getting angry because you should have gone and done it earlier, where it was exclusively just for Caymanians, don't argue now because you chose to go in late. Thankfully, you've chosen to go. And this is why being early and making your appointment, following the instructions is making so much sense. And make sure you go with all of your stuff so that it doesn't slow you down and inconvenience the person that is coming after you, simply. Annie is asking, is this required for persons married to Caymanian? Once they have an RERC certificate, the answer is yes. It has just been extended for those persons who are spouses of Caymanians, civil partners of Caymanians. Before the 1st of July, it was exclusive for Caymanian only, meaning status holders. So yes, the answer is yes, if they want to. It's not a requirement because it's not mandatory. Before, they were not allowed to enroll or even apply for it. But now that has been extended to them and they can. So the answer to your question, not a requirement, that is now open for them if they so desire. Okay, Annie, hope that clarifies that for you. So yeah, and these are some of the advantages, proving that they are a spouse of Caymanian, that they can take advantage of these lowered fees for Caymanians. Because I'm still hearing a lot of information surrounding the licenses and good though, good stuff, meaning that spouse of Caymanians who do not have Caymanian status yet and permanent residents, that they are happy that the government, and I will quote, has woken up and has extended this now to spouses of Caymanians that are not Caymanian status holders yet. So yeah, and permanent residents, whatever. So yeah, I've heard good stuff coming out of that. And I'm quoting that they have woken up, because I heard some plans that people were just going to just do what they had to do in order to get their vehicles licensed and that sort of stuff. And let me tell you something. Human beings, they're going to survive. That is one thing that I know for sure. And they're going to do whatever it is they have to do in order to make it. And that is why we have to be so careful. Yep. We have to be so careful when we do certain things, unintended consequences, because a man gonna survive and they could do what they got to do. So I had already heard some plans of how people were going to get around this. So thank God that they have made their amends, and people are actually very happy that it's been extended now to these spouses who do not have status yet, but they are spouses of Caymanians. Okay. Now, again, I want to go back to what is being said in regards to this dust alert, because this is real, and to let you know exactly some of the information that has been put out into the public's domain, because this plume is going to be thick. From all accounts, this one is going to be thicker than what we're accustomed to, thicker than what we are have been used. Apparently, this is the biggest plume right now since all that has been happening. And what we're seeing released from the ministry and the Cayman Islands government is that you are being all encouraged from 4 p.m. this evening. The Cayman Islands government is putting out in the public's domain of this dust alert and public health cautions and steps and guidance notes to make sure that everyone is keeping safe over this upcoming weekend. This is going to impact us over the weekend and possibly into the early part of next week. And the general public is being encouraged to limit time outdoors, particularly during periods of the high dust concentration. You're encouraged to keep doors and windows closed to reduce dust entering homes and buildings. You're also encouraged to use air conditioners on recirculation mode or air purifiers if you have one available or multiple ones available. Wear a long sleeve clothing to protect your eyes from irritation. You're also encouraged to wash your hands regularly and avoid touching your eyes. Oh my gosh, yeah. And monitor for new or worsening symptoms. Anyone who is actually seeing this is encouraged to seek medical advice if necessary. And persons, especially with asthma or respiratory illnesses, Connie Bonnie, I see Sandra, hey, reached out to you. Oh yeah. See, Connie? Public health is advising that persons with asthma or any respiratory illness, they are to remain indoors where possible and use air conditioning on your recirculation mode. And ensure that reliever inhalers and medications are readily available should you have an episode. You're also encouraged, anybody with any asthma or respiratory illnesses are encouraged to contact healthcare providers if any of these symptoms worsen, right? And all of those companies or organizations, including our very own government, that a lot of the activities also in the sister islands is outside. The public health is advising summer camps and even workplaces, all of the persons who are working outdoors or construction workers, landscapers, anyone who's working outdoors, gardeners, farmers, all of this sort of stuff. You are encouraged as employers and these camp coordinators to limit outdoor activities, including sports and prolonged breaks. You're also encouraged to keep windows closed when practical, and inform parents and caregivers of measures being taken to protect vulnerable children. And this goes both ways when it comes to protecting those children, because sometimes you sign your kids up to these after school, these summer camps and all that sort of stuff. And it may have been an oversight. You may not have realized that you didn't tell them, oh, my son or my daughter has asthma, or they have an inhaler, or they have allergies or something like that. And we don't know what's in this dust. We don't know what's in these plumes that is coming off of Africa. And you may not have told these camp people about any conditions. This is a time now that you definitely want to try to remember that if they're going to any of these camps, especially during these times. We're forecasted to have a very, very dry season because of this one of being the strongest El Niños of our times. And because of that, all of this dust is choking any tropical development like cyclones, not cyclones, because that's not in our region, hurricanes, tropical storms. It is actually inhibiting the formation of these storms and hurricanes. But along with it, it aggravates allergies and brings on different respiratory disorders or make these respiratory issues even worsen. I have never been one to trouble with respiratory issues. And it's only in the past week that I have found myself having problems whenever I go outside with the dogs. I don't even have the dogs right now on the back patio that I normally would have them on. They haven't been outside, I would say now, for about 2 to 3 weeks. Pretty much we're indoor for those small periods of time that I go out to let them do their stuff, and I'm back inside. But I realized it the other day when we were at the height that I came on here and I kept clearing my throat and I thought I was coming down with something. And then my eyes started burning and I realized what it was ever since. So I am now having to be extra careful, even hanging outside, going and visiting my aunts and stuff. We like to sit outside. That now we have to be careful. We find ourselves now, even though I visit, we go inside. Oh, thank God. I visited the other night. And just on the corner of my eye, I saw one hell of a frog come down on a palm tree that was in close proximity to where we were sitting. Well, let me tell you something. I forgot my knee was hurting. I bolt out of there. When I ended up in my car. I said, I'll speak to y'all by phone. But it's not like we couldn't go inside. It's just that we loved being outside. But I didn't realize how that aggravated our sinuses. So yeah, just be careful. So I'm not only running from dust, I'm running from critters, you name it. I'm running from everything. Keith, how you doing? Happy Friday to you. Wear a face mask when you're outside. I'm going to have to. I said that this earlier on when I was speaking to Sandra. I said, look, I have to because no, man, I'm this is the first time that I can tell you I've been affected by it. So yeah. If I'm complaining, I can only imagine what's happening. Live Happy is weighing in. Is the Miss Cayman pageant outdoors this weekend? Tomorrow at Pedro. It may be canceled due to the dust alert. Could you find out? I'm going to put that APB out to Miss Sandra. Sandra Hill, if you're in tune, this is a very good question. But yes, I'll definitely flag this. I don't know what precautions they will actually make. But yeah. It's going to be thick. It is outside. Live Happy. You are quite right. Beautiful view too. But horrible time. Yeah. So good question. I don't know what measures they may actually put in place for this because yeah, we didn't expect this plume to come in so thick tomorrow. So yeah. Oh my goodness. Live Happy. Thank you for that. I didn't even think of that. You're quite right, because normally that would have been either Lion Center or Weston, right? Yeah, that would have been either Weston or Lion Center. Hey. Oh my goodness. Interesting. Connie is saying, I have to be steaming. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, it's bad. It's bad. And for me, I'm finding myself getting hoarse. And you can literally feel it when it's really at its thickest and you're outside just for a few minutes. You can actually feel like the dust on your skin. Knowing us Caribbean people, speaking for me, I like to lotion and use some sort of sunblock. So of course, with your skin being with the moisturizer, that dust, those little fine particles get on it and you just feel, ugh. Yeah, so OMG. But yeah, I'm hoping that I was able to do this justice. Oh, they're not calling me. I feel lonely. Where is Alfred today? He really, really, really. You can see I get lonely, huh? But thank you all for sticking and staying with me as I share with you all of this information that we're getting here in regards to this dust alert. But I'm really hoping that this one for the summer camps, because they're definitely picking up into next week, that you are aware of what's happening and that please monitor these children closely because some of them could develop allergies that they probably were not even aware of. But based on the thick concentration of dust, that could trigger something that they probably don't even know. But parents, this is an alert to you. Make sure that you actually declare it if your child or children has allergies or are sensitive to mold, dander, that sort of stuff. You don't want to be outside. I know a lot of people enjoy walking in the evenings. Where I live, you see people all the time with these kids in these strollers and all this sort of stuff. 1 minute you're fighting mosquitoes, and now it's mosquitoes and dust and triggering of allergies. So I'm just hoping that people take heed of this. And for all of my joggers, for those who are playing football and baseball outdoors, that you're breathing even deeper outside during this plume. Think about what you're doing. Think about what you're inhaling. This may not be the best time for you to be outdoors. This may be between now and next week, not because of the World Cup games, but I know it's not a game every day. You may want to just kind of ease off, or if you're able to play any of the sports that keeps your heart going, you may want to opt for indoor courts instead of outdoor courts because this plume is forecasted to be really, really thick. 𝐓𝐿 says they may have to move it indoors. Well, I'm hoping that if that is the case, that they're able to pivot very quickly. But if not, then people have to go at their own risk, and it would be advised that they wear the necessary protective gear to help themselves, is all I can say, 𝐓𝐿. But very good point that you point out there, my dear. Very, very good point of you pointing that out, because I didn't even think of that. It is outside. You are quite right. So let us see what else we can share with you here today. For sure. Oh, remember the National Museum, their summer camp is still on as well. And for all of those children who want to sign up for that, they can make sure that they reach out. I'm not too sure if it has closed yet, but for all of those parents who want to get their children in on this event, they may want to go ahead and reach out to them. You may find some time on your hands tomorrow. You may want to take advantage of that and go and get them registered to do that. Maybe you're away and you're coming back and you're like trying to pull your hair out of your head. What are you going to do with your kids? There you have it. That's an idea for you to do. And here we go for this Polished Presence Consulting. Their registration deadline is Friday, July the 17th. You can register online, and here's the QR code on your screen. That is a week of Polished Presence Etiquette Week of 2026, and that runs from July 27th to July 31st. And all of these this event will be taking place at the Intergenerational Hub, the Youth Services Unit, and that is on McClendon Drive. The Yellow Cross, the Yellow Pages building. And that's where that is, if you didn't know. So yeah, it's not too late for you to jump in on that one either. And we know that the Department of Sports camps have kicked off from the 3rd. They're going into the second week right now. And from the 10th to the 14th, there's dance camp at John Gray. And also, football camp as well. So there we have it, 10th to the 14th. We got some more here I can share with you just in case you're trying to. So all like these now, I'm hoping that the Department of Sports have adjusted accordingly so that they are aware of what's happening. Let me get the other one. So that these kids are definitely, there we go. So there's also netball. There's water aerobics and all of that. So a lot of these events, of course, it's the Department of Sports. A lot of these sports are going to be outside. So I'm hoping that they make the necessary amendments accordingly, or just keep checking with the weather and, you know, that everybody's keeping safe. But there's lots going on here. We cannot say that there is not a plethora of things to do here in the Cayman Islands for our young students to take advantage of. And all of these things right here that I have on the screen now, put on by the Department of Sports, is free, not a dime. So these are all free for your kids to take care of. And this is all in Grand Cayman for the record. And Sister Island Sports Unit, your camps are well on their way over there as well, because the next week is July 13th to 17th. That's your basketball camp over there in the Sister Islands from ages 7 to 16. And that goes on from 8:30 until noon at the Layman Scott High School court. And so this week it ended with the football camp that was included to ages 6 to 16 years old. That wrapped up this week over there in the Sister Islands. I hope all those kids had a wonderful time. And now next week from the 13th to the 17th is going to be a basketball camp. And then after that, it's the 20th to the 24th of July is the swimming camp, followed by the cricket camp over there. So what I have up on the screen right now is for all of those kids in the Sister Islands. And so football camp is over. Next up is basketball, then swimming, then cricket, and then the rookie lifeguard camp over there in Cayman Brac. So for more information, you know how to reach out. And I'm hoping that all of the kids had a whale of a time. This one is for Grand Cayman. I got that message. Yeah, sorry. I got this message. This one is put on by the National Museum, my WhatsApper. Yeah, they put on a camp, and that is running from July 20th to the 24th and the 24th to the 31st of July. So if you want to register your kids for this, you go on to www.museum.ky/immerse. So yeah, that is another one as well. This one is not free though. These are free WhatsApper. All of the ones from the Department of Sports are free. Yeah, there is a fee for this one. I think it was 150 or 125 a week per child. Yeah, this one comes with a fee. But these guys, the ones from in the BRAC and the Department of Sports ones, they're all for free. They're all 100% supported by our Cayman Islands government and the ministry. And this one is also, there are some spots that were sponsored. So you want to reach out to Miss Melanie Sims. That's 936-4477. You may be one of the lucky ones that may qualify for a sponsorship. So yeah, give Miss Melanie a call or a WhatsApp on 345-936-4477. Maybe you can get a portion, a partial sponsorship, or maybe you can get the whole week. Just give her a call to see if any are available. So yeah, I needed to tell you guys that was an update. So in this particular one, for ages 16 to 19, college bound or recent graduates, Monday to Thursday mornings, 9 to 12 noon. For young adults, ages 20, job seekers and professionals, you can take part in this Mondays and Wednesday evenings from 6 until 9. But there are some sponsors that were given to polish presents. Just give Miss Melanie a call, 936-4477 for more information. We got a caller. Good evening, caller. What's on your mind?
Good
Happy
evening,
Friday.
Miss Sabrina and Cayman.
How are you?
Happy Friday to you. I'm
Thank you.
okay, and I gotta be long because my phone's about to die. But
Oh, okay.
I just want to say few words about trying to let whoever needs to hear that we need a public transport system that works. And I know in the past, the previous administration went to Barbados. Nothing became of it. It's one of these cans that has been kicked down the road. And if we have a proper bus system, we can take some of these vehicles that really need to come off of the roadways, because a lot do, because you still have a lot of these Honda Fits that are unfit because they have these hybrid systems with the batteries, and they were on recall, and I don't understand why they're still on our roadways. Another thing about a public transport system, if it works properly, Bermuda has one. It only takes Cayman Airways Clean and the representatives to go down and ask them, please show us what you did to implement your public transport system. And we need to stop kicking this proverbial can down the road, because if we have a proper public transport system, when, God forbid, any storm threatens these islands, we should be able to transport persons safely in public transport buses. That is done other parts of the world, safely to the shelters, to limit the vehicles on the roadways. And that is a priority that should be of the utmost. We need a proper transport system in this country. And like I said once, and I'm going to say it again, it takes only the government to reach out to the Bermudan government to say, this is how we want to go. We want to follow your way. Please, can you help us? It's called your Caribbean neighbor, brother and sister, helping one another. Just reach out to them. We reached out to Barbados. Why do we suffer with a system that does not work? And some of the buses need to really come off of the roadway. Whether we have to increase the bus fare or not, people will not mind paying a proper, even dollar increase.
If you're getting the value.
If we have proper bus depots in the major districts with proper parking where people can park their vehicles, get in the buses and get to town in a timely manner to limit 50, 60, 100, 2,000 vehicles off of the road. Kaboom. It's common sense, and I don't understand why we keep kicking this can down the road. And people just sit down, they don't say nothing. Well, it needs to be fixed, and I'm asking the government to look into it, because there's too many persons that rely on the public transport system for whatever reason, but you would get a lot more riders if we had proper safe facilities, proper bus facilities, bus stops that are lit and safe for people to go to, and run the system on the weekends till the wee hours of the morning, and have trained persons to be ambassadors that can, when you get on a bus, you feel like you're being welcomed in, and it's a happy place to get on, and it's a transport system that works. But the drivers and, some have to be, I'm sorry, some needs to get off of their buses. I don't care, because some of them are rude. So we need to get a proper transport system in this country.
Who's rude? The operators or the passengers,
Some
or
of
both?
some of the bus drivers are just downright rude.
The drivers. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, what are you being rude to people for? When you got to speak to people in that manner, and people are not begging you for a ride when they get on a bus. If you don't want to pick people up, don't pick them up and come off of the bus system. Period. Because sometimes you have to put people in their place, and I put a few of them in their place, and some of them refuse to pick me up. But I'm not going to let you carry on with your
So what
foolishness.
happens? They will pass you on the road, and they don't stop?
I had one today. I know their license plates, and I don't give a damn if they're here.
But can they do that?
Because that's what they do. Because you speak to them and tell them, don't do this, or don't speak to people this type of way or whatever. They don't like it, some of them. They're rude. Plain and simple. Some of them are rude, and I don't understand how these buses, a lot of them, are still on the roadway, Miss Sabrina. I don't know what DVDL is doing in the public transport system, but the government and the transport minister better get down there Monday morning and inspect these buses, because a lot of them need to come off the road. Their ACs don't work. They don't have shocks. It's a nightmare to drive in them, okay? That's all I'm going to say. I'm putting the call out. The government needs to address the public transport system, because as all I can see right now, I'm hearing about immigration this. I will say this. You did not go far enough with it. And there's many more in this country that think you should have went further with immigration.
Well, I know,
Yeah,
I know that the government recently has reaffirmed, and this is based on what takeaways we've had from a series of questionings and what statements has been made. But the government has reaffirmed that, you know, they are acknowledging that a modern integrated national transport system is really a priority. And that what we're seeing, even hearing from the planning minister, of course, we will hear more, not speaking on his behalf, but what I can actually recall them saying is that some of the recent planning updates for, you know, this Cayman Forward initiative that we were highlighted on today has the growing concerns over congestion and just limited public transit options. But there was, I'm quite sure we will be hearing more about that later on, because there was a meeting. There is a website that is live. You can look at the CMR channels later for an article that should be coming out in short order that tells us more about what this Cayman Forward initiative about, where it's balancing development, sustainable, and the environment. And one of the things that came up about this was the transportation system, right?
Yeah.
So
it's in a mess.
Exactly.
And I'm grateful to hear it.
Yeah.
And, you know, finally, I guess people's ears are listening, because some people have no other choice.
Because in this plan, it is from what we're understanding, it talks about the upcoming national development that will include the transport framework.
Yeah.
Plus covering the bus system upgrades and just even how cyclists, people who are on cycles, people who walk on the road that I've heard you advocating for. And this long-term mass transit solution is a part of moving forward. And I just think they're trying to adjust the dial so that they can get it balanced. So you have the developer side, you have the sustainable side, you have the environmental impact side, but all trying to get where we all are happy, but respecting both perspectives.
Well, one thing that needs to stop is some planning law needs to stop destroying the iron shore because it's you're not going to soon have any place in Grand Cayman and West Bay to go to look at the sea. So you hear the fight in Jamaica where they're carrying it to the courts. Courts are hearing it.
Yeah, and there are some other countries in the West. That Jamaica is not easing up on it. They are not easing up on it. Their people are coming out in their numbers.
I'm going to send you an article so you can read it over the weekend. I said this before. I think the Caribbean is hollering, as I call it, to the European colonial powers that you need to pay us. And a former high-ranking British MP came out and said, no, it's the other way around. The former Caribbean islands should be paying their colonializer, those that colonized us.
Yeah, and the reparations.
All the investment that they number one mother country, as an example, put into the Caribbean when they had their
back in the day
islands. They're saying we should pay them.
They're turning it around on us.
That's how they're retaliating at the Caribbean now.
Yeah, I saw that. Mia stood up against it.
Yeah, and Mia just, oh my God, Mia told them out.
Yeah, I covered that in a news segment, I think yesterday or day before. Exactly what she said.
Powerful things are happening in the Caribbean, and the Caribbean needs to stick together to be a voice to be heard with. Because look, the Caribbean is paradise, just like the rest of other parts of this world where people come from, we consider it paradise. But I see more and more the Caribbean through CARICOM is finally saying enough is enough. And we have a new CARICOM leader, and I think he set the tone the other day with his speech, with what he said. And he reminded, let me tell you, he says you're going to see things happening. So we will see.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that was an event that took place in St. Lucia in our very own Honorable Isaac Rankin for Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, Heritage. He was in attendance, even though we are an associate member. And I think Guyana just got signed up as well. They are the newest one to join CARICOM. But the fact is now that the Cayman Islands, even as associate members, a lot of these meetings in the past, there was absolutely no representation from the Cayman Islands. And Bermuda was saying when they look around, we've heard our very own guests here on the show, says, as other associated members, BOTC, territories, they would always send representatives to these
Yeah.
CARICOM meetings. But when they look around for numbers, there was no representation for the Cayman Islands. So
Yeah.
I want to applaud, at least from what I'm seeing now, our premier,
Yeah.
he attended one. Now I'm seeing the Honorable 𝐅𝐋𝐬, he attended the last one. So it looks as though they're understanding the importance of even being associate members, the importance of having these networks and what's happening with our brothers and sisters regionally, that we can all come together as one at the end of the day, even though we're a British overseas territory jurisdiction.
True.
I know
I'm
your
gonna
phone
send
is
you-
dying, but
Yeah, I'm going to send you another video.
Go
I'm gonna
ahead,
send
send
you a
it.
video of Cuba when I get home, and
All right.
you can look at it over the weekend. It's the real Cuba. It's an American guy that travels. His name is Elliot.
Yeah.
He's a traveler. He lives in Spain. He has a Venezuelan girlfriend. He went from one end of Cuba to the next,
Oh, wow.
and to see how they live out in the
Oh,
rural
my goodness.
Cuba,
I'll send it.
you're going to be shocked.
Send it.
It's like
Love it. Send
Cuba's
it.
in a state right now, Miss Sabrina, that only I don't know what's going to happen, but it's a sad thing when you see it.
Oh.
So I'll send it to you, but have a blessed
All right, my dear.
weekend.
You too. Be safe.
And yeah, it's good to hear things are happening. You
Yes,
too,
they
be
are.
safe.
Yeah, and we will share it. But there's supposed to be an article coming
Yeah.
out, and I'll answer about the refusal of picking you up on a bus. I'll just do that. You can follow along. You can listen.
Yeah,
All
but I
right.
don't really care. If they don't want to pick me up some of this way that way, I don't really care.
But they got to have
But,
just
you
cause,
know.
and I'll just break it down quickly.
Yeah, because I spoke to a couple of them and told them, I don't like the way you speak to this person. I don't like the way you speak to that person.
So they don't pick you up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And one of them was two visitors. So
Ooh.
I don't appreciate it.
Really?
When you holler at, when you run 7 Mile Beach Road and you tell a couple that is here for the first time with a young little baby with a stroller,
Yeah.
that's not the door. Come around.
What?
That kind of speaking. That's how you speak to people because he opened the trunk of your bus. That's how you speak to him. You can't put that stroller in there. Yeah.
Oh, no.
These are the things that people don't open a lot their mouths at, but I'm starting to open mine because I'm sick and tired of seeing it. If I tell you, some of them refuse to pick me up, and I don't care.
Oh.
Because it's their loss of $2, not mine.
But we're
And
all
if none of them want to pick me up, I will buy an electric bicycle and scoot down the road. So I'm calling on the public transport, whoever it falls on, the minister, to start looking into reining in some of these bus drivers because some of them are very rude.
Mr. J.E.
It's not only me it happens to. It's a lot of other people it happens to, and people are sick and tired of rude bus drivers. And that's why I say some of them, I don't know how they get their vehicles on the road to license, because if you get in some of them, you would want to come out of it. Because some people cannot take it. Every speed bump you go over, you feel like your rear end is about to bust open because the shocks they're no good shocks, and you feel like the seat is about to come through up with the shock to your rear end. Yeah. Those are the type of buses we're being transported in on the public road.
But aren't they being
and I don't know what
inspected?
about it. They all seem to be getting passed because they're on the road. So who's passing them is what I have to ask. So DBADL needs to step in, the planning minister, whoever it falls on, and the government needs to go look at the buses because a lot of them are not fit for purpose. Sorry, it's the truth.
Well, the minister would need the tour in order to make the necessary recommendations for policy change and law changes. But the operational arm for identifying these things, whatever laws are in place, falls on the director of that department.
The director needs to get directing because I don't know how the buses are getting licensed.
The minister is limited to only making sure that the necessary policies, regulations and legislation that could bring, but the outcomes, the holding of these operators being accountable, inspections, that sort of stuff falls squarely on the operational arm of government, which is the civil servants.
Yeah, but they need to figure it out because they should take a ride in some of them and feel what it feels like to go from Georgetown to West Bay in this heat and when your AC not working.
So air conditionings are not working in some of these buses?
A lot of them, they're blowing, but what are they blowing? You don't feel anything.
Oh.
Yeah. I tell you, go take the experience. Come on one from the bus station into West Bay. And don't get off of it. Just go all around, go back to
Oh,
town.
darling, everybody would identify me. I could not get away.
I would fix myself up with a hat and a beautiful,
Oh,
fix
God.
up my hair and put my glasses, put posh shades on, and just put a posh handbag, and they would think you are just who? A very expensive luxury visitor to our country.
Okay.
The beautiful Grand Cayman Islands, as they call us. Miss
All
Sabrina.
right. Let's see. Let me see which clutch I could get put on my bike, because maybe the pigmentation maybe have to be a little lighter, then I'll get away with it.
There you go.
Trouble, you are
We
trouble.
know how to fix it.
That is a good idea, though. That's a good idea.
No.
Oh my goodness.
People need to go take an experience in it, because let me tell you, I've seen some visitors spoken to.
Mhm.
I've had one experience by the cemetery beach,
Mhm.
and it was a voluptuous African American lady, but a beautiful lady.
Mhm.
And she was smiling. She had just come off of the cemetery snorkeling, the beach. And because one seat was right by where the door opened, she sat there, and the bus driver said, "You can't sit there." You take away from that. Because she was too oversized to get in the front seat there by the other passenger. Those are the type of things that happen here. I'm just seeing it and reporting it how I see it. And a lot of people just shut their mouth, but I'm tired of seeing it, because these are visitors that probably will never come back to this country because of one bad experience.
And this is the public
And if you are going to be
side,
an ambassador for my country, you darn well better start straightening up, because every time I see it happen, I'm going to call it out. And I'm calling out these crazy taxi drivers that are running up and down here in West Bay on Northwest Point Road. I'm calling every one of them out, because the police are nowhere in the neighborhood to control the speeding. They need to slow down. That's what they need to do on the roadways, because people are not respecting the roadways. And taxi drivers are some of the worst, along with the bus drivers, because some of these taxi drivers don't even know how to drive, and they've been on the road so bloody long. They need to come off. That's the state of traffic on these roadways. And with a public transport system that needs people to look into complaints that you hear.
But Ms. Melita keeps
I went and
advocating.
filed a complaint, and I never got no answer back from anything.
Miss
So
Melita
it's
always
pointless
says she wonders who they're speaking to. And
we wonder.
says, yeah, Miss Melita
really
has
do.
always advocated, who are they speaking to?
I
Who
don't know
are
who
the
they're
representatives speaking to?
We don't know. But they're
Very
not the ones
interesting.
that they need to listen to, Miss Sabrina. So that's the state of that. And like I said, if they feel in a way that they don't want to pick me up, I am almost 56 and I'm fit as a fiddle, and I can walk and take any heat. The heat don't bother me. So if they feel in a way that one of them, if I say what I have to say and it's the truth, then you keep passing me by like some of you do, because your loss is someone else's gain. Because I treat people with respect when I go to another man's country. And I'm going to end that there, because some people in this country that are here, I keep repeating what some of the MPs that have been elected this last year around have said in some days now. Mr. Speaker, look at some of them. Look at some of them, Mr. Speaker. How did they get into this country? I'll leave it there. People with nasty attitudes got to come out of Cayman, Miss Sabrina. We need to do a better job. We need to get the fingerprint system, the facial ID recognition system. We need to start working on it, because there are too many Larrys and Lindas, the likes of them here, that need to come out of Cayman, because they only show their true colors when they become one of us or they get their residency. And then a lot of them shows who they are. And a lot of people here need a wake-up call to realize that this is where Caymanians are calling home. And we are sick, and we are fed up, and we are tired of you coming here and making us feel like we are the visitors in this country when you have been given the lifetime gift of a lifetime to come work and live amongst us, and those that are grateful, some of them, to get Caymanian residence and status, they treat Caymanians with respect. But a lot think one thing, like another caller said on the other talk show program when I called in a couple of days ago in the morning on the Standard Show, that they think only one thing: they are here to make money. They don't want to know Caymanians. They want to be around us. And we have to let, I'm sending a clear message to people coming here going forward. You come and found Caymanians here. I keep saying, you can't go to no other country and disrespect an immigration officer and think that you might not get into the country. Because having a visa to any country in this world does not guarantee you the right to get into the country. They can deny you if they want to deny you. But we keep allowing the unsavories of Larrys and the Lindas to come around and to take over neighborhoods and buy up this and buy up that. And they tell you you can't go on certain parts of the beach down here on Kung Point Road in Barcas because I allow people to pass by my beach. You should be lucky. These are the things that happen to Caymanians. And we have to speak up about it. And we have to remind these type of people, you come and found us here. And I say, and I'm going to end with this, we have 9 beautiful aircraft on the tarmac at Owen Roberts International Airport. And I hear the whisperings of soon to be a 10 and a couple to be soon replaced because they're reaching age. Good. You can get on any one of them and take your money and come out of my country, because dirty attitudes, Caymanians are no longer going to tolerate. And there might not be people speaking up loudly and saying it out like the few of us that are, but we are speaking for a lot of people. And when a few voices start speaking, the powers and the country has to wake up and listen. This is home. This is paradise. And what we are trying to do is tell this government and any forward ones going forward, if we are lucky to live to see the next 4 years, that we want some of it protected. It cannot all be about one sect of people and the Caymanians get nothing. We are no longer going to accept the crumbs dropping off. We have had enough. I bid Cayman Islands a good evening. I have a mouth, and who don't want to hear it, shut it up, shut the program off, because this is reality and what Caymanians are facing. Families are struggling, and I'm going to call on the government again. Families are struggling. Your fuel surcharge doesn't do nothing. It's a dip in the bucket. Figure it out and come to your people, because 4 years, you got 2.5, 3 years left. They go very quickly, and the Caymanian people are starting to remember when they are continually over the 4 years forgotten. Have a good evening, Cayman. Ms. Sabrina, I thank you for being a voice for so many that, for whatever reason, will not speak up. But I have been through far too much of this foolishness, and I look and I see it happening, and I have been in Cayman since 1988. So I have seen the changes. Our neighborhoods are becoming high-rise condos with rentals, and you're not going to find any Caymanians in them soon, because they're going to sell out their properties, because we have become now the visitor in these beautiful Cayman Islands that some of us are fighting day and hard to let people understand. When you come here, you come with your respect. Or I say we have 9 beautiful aircraft. We will take up a donation and get you and your money out of the Cayman Islands so fast that there will be 1,000 waiting to take your place. Ms. Sabrina, this is home to me. And I have done some traveling. I have seen the likes of the Norwegian fjords, places. I've seen the coast of Russia. I have seen the border of Russia with Norway.
Well, you
I have done traveling. And yes, ma'am. And I respect people. And I'm asking for respect to be given for everything Caymanian in this country from this evening onward, because a work permit is a gift of a lifetime.
Okay.
And that's all this Caymanian Cayman-Brica that love this place that I was born on. This is my home. Respect me and my people, or we have 9 beautiful aircraft on the tarmac at Owen Roberts International Airport. We will do whatever we have to do, a 26-mile marathon, and get all you out if you really want to go.
All right.
Have a good
Leave me
evening.
there.
Stay
Take
safe on
care.
the road. God bless.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Calder, for your contribution. We are going over just a second because I want to answer this based on the latest information that we have out. And this is Live Happy question. I have a question about housing. What do you think about building on smaller lot sizes and building up? Meaning a house would be small but has 2 floors, and we still get Caymanian dream a yard. I get what you're saying there. Based on what I was able to pull up, this Cayman Forward initiative directly addresses longstanding tensions, as I alluded to earlier on in the newscast, and we'll be hearing more about it, right? Because I spoke about it for the transport part of it. But it also addresses exactly what you're saying here. And this is one of the core themes that is highlighted in this, because they're seeing where Cayman can grow without destroying its natural environment. And if development is better planned, more efficient, and even more transparent, that is the direction in which they're going, right? And that includes allowing professional planning officers to fast-track routine applications, creating building timelines, CPA and NCC decisions, updating the National Development Plan to guide future land use, and moving forward into shared decision-making between planning and environmental bodies. But to go straight into this vertical development that you're talking about, government planners have signed or who have actually signaled that, right? And it is a part of this going forward. And what we're talking about, vertical building, that's building upward. They have identified that this is becoming a necessary part of Cayman's long-term strategy. And we're talking about mid-rise buildings, 3 to 6 stories, may become even more common in designated zones. So high-rise developments remain still restricted to specific areas. I want you guys to take that away. But vertical buildings they're seeing right now will reduce the sprawl and protect natural habitats, therefore giving the opportunity, going straight into what you're alluding to right here. So the bottom line is that they have identified that Cayman's future planning direction is not about crowding the island. It's about being smart, sustainable growth. Yes, smaller lots and building upward is part of a broader strategy to improve housing affordability is what they're saying, protecting natural spaces as well, modernizing planning rules, and reduce conflict between the CPA and the National Conservation Council, the NCC, and using land more efficiently to get us through this whole phase. So this direction that the government's own planning reforms, that is the direction that they're moving forward to. So at the end of the day, I hope that that answers that. And Keith is saying when CUC is allowed to increase their electricity rates every year, then the cost of living will continue to get worse. Off-reg and government know this, and they continue to allow them to do it. Now, we got to understand the intricate details about the contract that is now in place, Keith. I can't speak into great detail about the particulars of that. Definitely people are seeing, and I think Sandra, in another case, we attended a forum or a conference where this was highlighted, where even though the fuel charge was capped, these other fees that actually pull up the cost of utility bills may not actually be giving you as much help as you want. But to say that the government can do more, you have to weigh that against what is the finer lines with the contractual agreement that utility operator has in place And then you have to look at what laws off regs for accountability is concerned and work around that where you're not in breach nationally of the contract that is in place. I can't speak on that, but I'm hoping maybe without divulging some stuff that probably is not allowed to be in the public's domain, that, at some point you can get somebody on a platform that will talk about this. So yeah, Keith, but there's a lot there. And I'm seeing some of the comments as well. Governments today, governments before, the contract that is in there. So even when I've even heard people criticizing when members of the opposition are asking these questions of this government who were responsible for off-reg or could make a difference, why are they asking now when they know the answers? Like I tell you, the opposition, not siding with anyone, they are there to oppose. They are the opposition for a reason. They are the government in waiting. So they have a right to ask these questions. Even if they know, they can't appear that they're not doing anything to acts of the government. Well, okay, fine. The people have voted you in. You are the sitting administration. What are you going to do that maybe we didn't do before? But everybody on all sides of the table knows that there is a contractual agreement that is in place. And some of the information we're probably not privy to that, would say, let's do this on utility rates. Why are they keeping adding these fee? The same thing that right now is happening with some of the banks. For all of the fees that they're adding on, for the exit clause, if you want to go financing someplace else, we need to really look at this from a wider lens where actually you're feeling trapped sometimes. But that may be an episode for another day. But bottom line, addressing as much of these comments as I can, giving you all the information as I can, based on, and not speaking on behalf of the government or on behalf of any particular organization or minister. I'm just trying to get out in there from trusted sources to answer some of your questions. But it's bigger issues that are going on. And I'm hoping that at some point in time, persons can be very candid and honest with you for why you are, or just be open. How far can your government go when it comes to saying, utility company, how far can you go? How far can we go as a government elected to protect the people of this country when they complain about the high cost and utility bills? That's what they got the experts for, to say, look, you're not overreaching. You're not in breach of this contract. If you say, look, CUC, let's do this. Let's do that. And they wait for the civil servants to go and do the research, to look at the intricate details of line by line, what the contract says. How can we look? How can we put something in place that our people will get a break, will really feel the true that we are working for them without being in breach of your contract? And then they come back. And whatever those findings is, put your ego aside, but at least be honest with the people. I think the people of the Cayman Islands would be more respectful of that than you just pretty much edging around it. Just be open and honest. People are not stupid. People are aware that there is a contract. How far can you go without overreaching, without being in breach of whatever the terms and conditions of how this or utilities company operate, to say, well, okay, people of the Cayman Islands, because of how this is worded, we can't go beyond here. This is as much as we can do until the contract reaches its renewal date, and maybe we can sit around the table and negotiate it. But that's not your elected politicians. They're not supposed to be in there negotiating things like that. That's not a part of their remit. That's where the operational arm of government goes in, and then they feed it back. They feed it back to the elected arm. So I think the people of the Cayman Islands would have a greater respect and understanding from our leaders, whoever that's going to be, if you would just do some research and come out and say, look, this is what we've done. It may not have given you the results that you've looked for, but this is as far as we can go. I think they would respect you even more if you were just come out and be that honest with them. It doesn't make you look weak. Oh, yes, so fine if they're going to beat you up, if they're going to criticize you. Well, why would you have been in there during that time and you didn't do this and that? Fine. But at least you have set the record straight, and whatever maneuvering you can do, sit down around the table. Maybe there may be some negotiations that you can do with the organization. You never know. But don't keep hiding behind the door and thinking that right now people are not awake, that they're not aware. They just want to hear you be honest, be truthful, without overstepping or saying anything that would be in breach of any contractual agreements. I think that would give you more respect than you would imagine from the general population of the Cayman Islands. And in regards to what that caller, as I wrap up here, in regards to the public transport conduct, right here in the Cayman Islands, the public transport operators themselves, under the law in which they operate, they are required under their license to provide, from what I'm getting here, fair and safe service to all passengers, and cannot refuse to pick up without valid reason. Cannot refuse to pick up a passenger without valid reason. And under the Public Transport Act, these operators can only decline service in situations that they may be feeling that it is involving safety concerns, or if the person is intoxicated, or they want them to go outside of their license routes. That's when they can say, look, I'm not going to pick you up. And the public transport unit also knows that, and they remind these operators quite often, that wrongful refusal can lead to complaints and disciplinary action as operators, and if they don't follow these rules. So even though that caller is airing that here, and what he's describing has to do with visitors that are on our shores, that's opening a Pandora box of really probably what's not being reported. So I just want you to know that in accordance to this, unless an operator feels as though the person is intoxicated, that there's their fear of violence, or that the person is a threat, outside of that, they can't pass a person on the road needing public transport services and refuse from picking them up. It has been my pleasure bringing you another episode of Sabrina Speaks right here on the CMR platform. And I'm in overtime. Whoa, almost by 15 minutes. Please, please, please. Please do have a good weekend. Be safe. It's Friday now. We know exactly what happens to all of our men and women, brave men and women in the uniformed services. Thank you for your service. Please do have a safe weekend. Take extreme cautions if you're outdoors today for the weekend and into early of next week. And I will see you, God Spurs Life, on Monday for another engaging, informative episode of Sabrina Speaks. Good night. God bless. Love you lots. Have a good weekend. Be safe.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.